In part 3, as we continue discussing the millennial kingdom, we dealt directly with the prophecy about Messiah when he comes back in the clouds and takes the throne of David. That understanding is extremely important to take in as we are waiting for his day to come. There are so many different misunderstandings about the millennial reign and what Messiah is coming to do. And as you go through these videos, it should be more easier to see that the confusion is often due to a lack of study of the scriptures in full. When I discuss the end times and even the covenant, I have often found that the reason for people's misunderstandings about the last days, it has to do with this current topic that we're about to deal with. And the lack of understanding is for multiple reasons. One major reason is that the devil has lied and says that this has already happened in 1948. And also because people practice replacement theology, a doctrine that teaches them that the Bible is all about Christians and God saving them. The truth is that this subject is a major reason why people are not ready for what is coming in this world. As we discuss the millennial kingdom and what will be happening in the last days, it's important that the prophecy of the restoration of Yasharel, Israel, this topic is right at the top of your understanding when you're asked, what are you waiting for our Father to do? When Messiah comes back, we are waiting for him to restore Israel. And so we need to understand what it is this actually means according to Bible prophecy. So in this part 4, we are going to discuss the prophecies of the restoration of Israel and what that means when understanding the millennial kingdom. This is a big topic. Let's begin. Okay, so like I started with, there's a lot of confusion around this topic. You see, what has happened is that Satan has hijacked the conversation and placed his own fulfillment to Yah's prophecy right in the secular. And after this happened, many people that believe in the Bible have felt that this prophecy was already fulfilled. Many people felt that when the United Nations gave the land of Israel to now the current occupants, that this is the fulfillment of Bible prophecy.
Inhabited by both Arabs and Jews, Palestine had been under the rule of
the synagogue of Satan over there. That's what the Bible says.
In 1947,
Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9, synagogue of Satan.
Economy exhausted by World War II. Zionists saw the chance to establish a country of their own, while Arabs denounced the proposed Jewish state as an attempt to steal Arab land.
We are still in the times of the Gentiles, and the Most High's Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, has not gathered true Israel from all nations and brought us back to our land yet. We have imposters in the land of Israel now, and that's what's going on. But a lot of people are deceived because they won't read and believe Yah's truth.
Zionist leaders turned to Jewish Americans, now the largest Jewish community in the world, soliciting funds from those Jews who saw the state of Israel as the fulfillment of a 2,000-year-old dream.
American Jews made the difference in having a state or not having a state.
The UN session is being transmitted to Palestine, where adult-level radios are listening to loudspeakers in the streets. The people are avidly following the count.
Afghanistan? No.
The excitement among Jews around the country was overwhelming.
This is all organized by Satan.
Movement.
This is Satan's
Even
organization.
People had no intention of going there. We're so ignited by the idea.
All these people
Jews
are being
once again
moved by
having their
Satan.
pride in
All
having
of
a
them.
homeland that it was taken for granted.
Soviet Union?
Synagogue of Satan.
United Kingdom?
I remember so clearly. We had our ears glued to the radio for the vote of the UN.
Stolen identity. That's all that is. Stolen identity. Stolen land. Look at that. Can you believe that?
And what had happened, people just poured into the streets. And
Gentiles.
my parents were crying. And it
Look at
was
that. Look at this.
just totally thrilling.
Look at that.
Much excitement when the state was declared.
These people are unbelievable.
For the
Unbelievable.
first time, we would be able to be, we thought, in charge of our own destiny.
Look at that.
And therefore, it took people fully away from fully understanding Yah's prophecy. You have to understand that Yah does not work in this way. He is not fulfilling this prophecy of his power through the hands of the government.
It's all political.
Just as he freed Israel from Egypt through his power alone, he will fulfill this prophecy through his power as well. You must understand that this world hates Yah. And if you looked at the world and what has been transpiring in the world ever since 1948, ever since people believed this prophecy was fulfilled, we have just seen evil consuming the world more than ever.
That's right.
If you do not fill yourself up in truth and allow Yah to be fully your guide, you run the risk of being led by Satan and being against the will of the Most High.
That's right.
He has told us all about it in his word, and we all must believe in what he says more than what the secular world wants to tell us and show us.
That's right, brother.
So this understanding goes back to another topic that's highly controversial. Why is it important to understand who the Hebrews are today? It's because Bible prophecy of the end times is completely surrounded around them. So before we go into the end times prophecy concerning Israel, we must examine the times that we're in right now. At this moment in time, we're in the time of the Gentiles. The times of the Gentiles is the biblical designation from the time when Romans took over Jerusalem in 70 AD and ending with the physical return of Messiah to earth at the end of the Great Tribulation. Yahusha says in Luke chapter 21, verse 24, "And they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled." That's Luke chapter 21, verse 24. So it says Judah will fall by the edge of the sword and led away captive into all nations. Again, another reason why I've said the Hebrews are scattered around the world. But they are not in power, but in captivity. Yahusha also prophesied that Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles
Jews
are
are in
fulfilled.
power, but we not.
And this is currently still happening right now.
We not in
He
power.
prophesied that Jerusalem will be taken over by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled.
That's right.
So do you believe that the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled?
No, it's still happening
It's
right now.
important to understand that we are still in the middle of Bible prophecy being
That's
fulfilled.
right. That's right,
But
brother.
because of many secular events, people actually want to believe that the time of the Gentiles has been fulfilled.
Those are lies.
People have said that Jerusalem was recaptured by the Israelis in 1967 during the Six-Day War, and it is no longer in Gentile hands.
Politics. That's all
If you
that is.
research it, you will see this is mainstream view, and it's possible that you have been influenced by it.
And I'll start out with what I think is a real
Lies.
tough one. It's one
Still
that
the identity of the
I've
Negroes.
pondered a lot. Luke 21,
Look at that.
23 to 25.
Just lie with
And
ease.
it talks
On
about,
national TV.
Jesus talks about that
Satan's
Jerusalem
children.
will be trampled
Satan's children.
by the Gentiles until the
Look at
time
that.
of the Gentiles is fulfilled.
They got so many people
And what's
fooled.
really interesting about this to me, the Amplified Bible
Synagogue of Satan.
reads that
Disgust
into the
me.
time of the full
Oh my
number
God,
of
it
Gentiles
disgusts me.
have been come into saving grace, and a lot of Gentiles think that's what it means.
Righteous
What does
man
that
hate
fulfilling
lies.
mean to you?
Lies. A righteous man hate lies.
I believe the time of the Gentiles was fulfilled in 1967 when Israel took Jerusalem.
Look at that. Look at that.
Because in 1967, for the first time in centuries, that prophecy in Luke 21 was fulfilled.
Lying just natural.
And
Just,
for all the
just
centuries
natural to
before
him.
that,
Look at that.
that what we call the church, the body of believers, was Gentile dominated. But in 1967
Satan's
was
puppets.
the beginning of the Jesus movement.
Satan's
where
puppets.
hundreds of thousands of Jewish
To
people
deceive the
came
whole
in.
world.
So now we're no longer just a Gentile church. We're a Jewish Gentile body of believers.
Apostles got billions
We
of
will
dollars.
Never go back to the
Trillions.
Gentiles. That is
Real
gone.
Israel
The
still
Jews are
scattered
back,
around the
and
world
they're
in all
here to stay
nations.
in the kingdom.
This is why understanding who Israel is can be so important.
Okay.
Because it all comes down to whose prophecy are you following,
Right.
and whose power are you believing.
Yah's or Satan's.
To understand this, I'm going to start in Ezekiel, because Yah gives Ezekiel very clear understandings of this that help illustrate what he will do. Again, the word of Yahweh came to me saying, "As for you, son of man, take a stick for yourself and write on it, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write on it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Then join them one to another for yourself into one stick, and they will become one in your hand. And when the children of your people speak to you, saying, 'Will you not show us what you mean by these?' Say to them, 'Thus says Adonai Yahweh, surely I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his companions, and I will join them with it, with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they will be one in my hand. And the sticks on which you will write will be in your hand before their eyes.'" That's Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 15 through 20. You see, this is showing that Yahweh will again unite the house of Jacob, Judah, and Israel.
Right.
And this is ending the split kingdom. Again, I highlighted this to clearly show that this prophecy has not been fulfilled
Not
yet.
been fulfilled yet.
He said he will join Israel and Judah and bring them back together
Hasn't done
again.
that yet. He's
And
just
they will
waking
be
us
one
up.
in his hand.
That's all he's doing right now.
Now I'm going to keep going in Ezekiel. Then say to them, thus says Adonai Yahweh, surely I will take the children of Israel from among the nations, wherever they have gone, and will gather them from every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land. On the mountains of Israel, one king shall be
We're going
over
to
them
have
all.
peace.
They
There's
shall
going to be no
longer
war
two
when we
nations,
get there. Ain't going to be
nor
war.
shall they ever be divided into two
We're
kingdoms
going to have
again.
peace.
They shall not defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will deliver them from all the dwelling places in which they have sinned, and I will cleanse them.
That's right.
Then they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim.
That's yet to be done.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 21 through 23. So he has said it again with more details. He said he will gather them from every side
That's right.
and bring them into their own land
That's right.
and make them one nation.
That's right.
They will no longer be two nations or a divided kingdom. He said he will cleanse them, and they shall be his
Right.
people.
Won't be no gay pride parades
See,
going on
this
in
is all about the
Israel
restoration of
like it
Israel.
is right now.
And I must say, I love our Father. I love the way he preserved this prophecy most in the Old Testament because it truly helps sort out those who love him in truth
Right.
and those who love him by their word of mouth. So many people say they love him
Falsehoods.
and are about his will, but they have never taken the time to really understand
Nope.
what it is he has said he would do.
You got
They
time.
think
for
that
it.
the New Testament has covered everything, but in fact that attitude exposes them.
That's right.
Most people don't have a clue about what our Father truly desires and plans to do. Let's read more. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as have escaped of the house of Jacob, will never again depend on him who defeated them, but will depend on Yahuwah, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant will return, the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty El. For though your people, O Israel, be as the sand of the sea, a remnant of them will return. The destruction decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For Yahuwah Elohim of hosts will make a determined end in the midst of all the land. That's Isaiah chapter 10.
It's not going on in Israel right now.
Again,
Peace and
the
righteousness.
remnant of Jacob will return. More. For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob and will still choose Israel and settle them in their own land. The strangers will be joined with them, and they will cling to the house of Jacob. Then people will take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel will possess them for servants and maids in the land of Yahuwah.
That's what I'm
They will
waiting on.
take them captive, whose captives they
That's
were,
what I'm
and
waiting on.
rule over their oppressors. Isaiah chapter 14, verses 1 through 2.
Praise
You see,
Yah.
the nations who survived the tribulation but did not come into the kingdom, they must cling to Israel if they're going to survive. They will serve Israel until Satan is released again after the 1,000 years.
I'm telling them.
The nations will serve Israel. Israel will take captive those who once ruled over them
That's
as
right.
oppressors.
That's right. It's coming.
Let's keep reading. But now, thus says Yahuwah, who created you, O Jacob, and he who formed you, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flames scorch you. For I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. I gave Egypt for your ransom, Ethiopia and Seba in your place. Since you are precious in my sight, you have been honored, and I have loved you. Therefore I will give men for you, and people for your life. Fear not, for I am with you. I will bring your descendants from the east, and gather you from the west. I will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. That's Isaiah chapter 43, verses 1 through 6. Do you see? He will bring Israel's descendants from the east and gather them from the west. He said he will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. He is not done with Israel.
That's right.
I'm going to read some more scriptures so we can really look at how much he has spoken on this promise. But you, Israel, are my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the descendants of Abraham, my friend, with whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called from its farthest regions, and said to you, you are my servant. I have chosen you and have not cast you away. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your Elohim. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah chapter 41, verses 8 through 10. You see, Yah has clearly stated this is what he intends to do.
Right.
He said he will take back the descendants of Jacob from the ends of the earth and its farthest regions. He said he has not casted them away. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, who shall stand as a banner to the people. For the Gentiles shall seek him, and his resting place shall be glorious. It shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left, from Assyria and Egypt, from Pathros and Cush, from Elam and Shinar, from Hamath and the islands of the sea. He will set up a banner for the nations, and will assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. That's Isaiah chapter 11, verses 10 through 12.
That's Brother Ron Charles, y'all. You can be found at Truth Unedited. Okay, shalom.